Hi everyone, I am Sreekanth. We are discussing programming in C language. The topic is about basics of C programming language. The agenda of this session is about variable declaration versus variable definitions. See, what are the major differences between variable declaration and variable definitions we'll discuss in this session. See, variable declaration tells the compiler about data type and size of the variable. Variable definition tells about allocates memory for the variable. Definition allocates memory for the variable. Variable declaration is a variable or a function can be declared any number of times. In a variable definition, a variable or a function can be defined only once. In the variable declaration, the assignment of properties and identification to a variable. The variable definition assignments of storage space to a variable. A declaration provides basic attributes of a symbol, its a type and its a name in the variable declaration. A definition provides all of the details of that symbol. If it's a function, what it does. If it's a variable, where that variable is stored. Memory will not be allocated during declaration. In variable declaration, memory will not be allocated in during the variable declaration. Memory will be allocated in a variable definition. See, in the variable declaration, it tells the compiler about the name and type of the identifier like variable, function, array, and so on. Memory is not reserved in this case. But in the variable definition, it tells compiler about the working of variable, function, body of function or function body or function definition. Memory is reserved in this case. Example, variable declaration, we are using a keyword called extern keyword. Extern int num. See, it tells the compiler that its name is num number and it is of integer type. Space is not allocated for it in a memory. Okay, in case of variable definition like int num is equals to 10. See, here a variable and assign some value to it. Here memory for variable will be allocated. Here declaration and definitions both at a time. Int num equals to 10. Generally we are declaring within a block or main function. See, in the another example like function declaration, int is a return type, add is the name of the function, and int comma int is a function parameters we may call it. See, it is about declaration. See, it tells the compiler that the function name is add. It takes two arguments and returns a value of what? Integral type. See, using external keyword is optional while declaring what? Function. See, if we do not write external keyword while declaring function, it is automatically appended before it. Okay, when compiler encounters variable, function, class, etc. declaration, then it understands that the definition is somewhere else in the program or any other file. See, coming to variable definition, another example called function definition. Here int is a return type, add is the name of the function. Here arguments, functional parameters are arguments like int a comma int b. See, this is called definitional parameters or functional parameters. Here returning some value a plus b, resultant value is going to be returning. We are using a keyword called return. Why? Because this function definition as a return type is called integer. If function definition is a float type, return type is also float type. Like that, based on the return type, we are going to be returning the value. See, this is about the major difference between what? Variable declaration and variable definition. See, in case of variable declaration, it tells the compiler about data type and size of the variable. But in case of variable definition, definition allocates what? Memory for the variables. So this is the major difference between variable declaration and variable definitions. So in this session, we discussed in detail about variable declaration and variable definition differences. In case of declaration, it tells compiler about name and type of variable, structures, functions, arrays, user defined types. Okay, in case of definition, it tells compiler about what value stored in variable or working of particular functionalities. See, memory allocation is not done in the declaration part, but memory allocation is done in the definition part. Okay, we can redeclare multiple times declaration part, but can define only once in the definition part. So this is a major difference between variable declaration and a variable definition. That's it for today's session. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you.